And let's stay with the story, of course, as the country waits the release of the final installment of the state capture report. Conversations continue around the safety of whistleblowers. Now, in previous installments, the Commission has recommended that whistleblowers be rewarded. But how far does this go? We are now joined by Advocate Tseliso Thipanyane from the Institute of Responsive and Accountable Governance and a member of Whistleblowers for Change. Thank you so much to you, Advocate, for your time. The bravery of the men and the women who blew the lid on what we now call state capture has been lauded previously, and the previous installments, for example, of the Zondo Commission's report recommending that a fixed percentage of monies recovered from the looting should be awarded to the whistleblowers. Is this a good idea?
Well, it is a good idea. Without the whistleblowers, Zondo Commission would not be where it is today. And without whistleblowers, would not have exposed a lot of corruption, which has cost our country billions of rands. And therefore, whistleblowers should actually be treated as heroes and not being undermined and victimized as we are seeing now. And therefore, whistleblowers also do contribute, therefore, to massive saving of state resources, which are required to give effect to human rights. And therefore, it's a good idea, to consider how we can most compensate and reward whistleblowers for the contribution they've made in ensuring that we are indeed a competent and capable state. And I think the Zondo Commission's whole objective of highlighting the impacts of state capture, in my mind, state capture is simply a way of undermining the state's ability to deliver on its mandate. And denying the state to be competent and capable. And therefore, whistleblowers play an important role in exposing any threats to the state to be a competent and a capable state.
And at the same time, they often get hit by protracted litigation. And some have said this is in an effort to, intimidate them. This has led to reputational damage, for example, in some of the cases. I wonder if there shouldn't be a comprehensive package as well that look at their legal battles, reputational damage, their health as well.
Well, this is what we are saying, in the whistleblowers movement, that there must be better protection and support for whistleblowers. Unfortunately, the current, as it stands now, the Protect Disclosures Act is not adequate. Secondly, we don't have a very strong institutional support for whistleblowers. Many of them have to defend themselves in court when they've been victimized and dismissed. Many of them get, as you say, they get defamed with no assistance whatsoever from the state. And that's why we need a better law reform, a better legal framework to better protect whistleblowers, but also to encourage South Africans to come out and whistleblow, because without whistleblowing, definitely our country is heading for failure. There's no money for service delivery because monies are being looted. People are abusing their powers. We'll end up becoming a failed state if we're not careful.
We reached out to one of the whistleblowers who are quite critical, key in the SARS debacle, for example, Ethel Williams. And he sent us a message, which he said we can read on air. And I'd like to read it for you and get your thoughts. He says, I don't feel let down. In fact, he didn't want to speak to us. And he says, we must read this. I don't just feel let down. I have been let down. I gave up everything to pursue truth for my country. And in return, I got silence and rejection. Even those who thank me and call me a hero won't raise a finger to help or offer a cent. Speak to them on your show. Busa, BLSA, the presidency, they are all waiting for me to be killed. That is what he says. And this is a reality of many whistleblowers, not just Ethel Williams. Would you agree?
Very correct, 200% correct. Many whistleblowers have been forced out of their jobs. Others have left the country like Ethel. Others have been killed. And it's very unfortunate that actually this also happens, through the state, which has a mandate to protect rights. So really it's a very sad state of affairs in our country that those who are fighting to strengthen our democracy are being victimized and are being seen as villains and not heroes.
And how far back is this going to take us in terms of regressing when it comes to more and more people coming forward? Because people are seeing the report that is going to be released, the final installment, and they are saying to themselves, it might improve in terms of accountability in South Africa. But if you have whistleblowers like Ethel Williams who say they're simply waiting for me to be killed, it's going to deter more from coming forward in future, is it not? Advocate Tseliso, I'm not sure if you heard me.
Yes, we need to do I heard you. Can you hear me?
Yes, now we can hear you.
We need to do more as South Africans, to stand up to protect whistleblowers, as well as ensuring that there's a proper legal framework, as well as there are more effective institutional mechanisms. Bodies like the Human Rights Commission, Public Protector, and others must do more to protect whistleblowers. Unfortunately, over the past 22 years, since we passed the PDA Act, we're not seeing much to be happy about. And that's why whistleblowers are calling for a better legal and institutional framework to protect whistleblowers. Whistleblowers should not have to pay for themselves in court when they're being victimized. The state has to protect them. We have to protect them as citizens because they're doing this for all of us, for the benefit of our country and the future of our country.
And I suppose another way to pay them back is to ensure that from such reports, there is accountability, because we've seen commissions sit, we've seen reports being, tabled, yet we've seen even very little to no action at all following these reports.
We hope that this report will not be the same fate as the Marikana Commission. But at the same time, it's all up to us as South Africans to stand up and defend our democracy, defend our country, and make sure that, whistleblowers will not be victimized going forward. There must be heroes. There are heroes. And nothing else.
Advocate Tseliso, as we then round up our conversation, I wonder what are your expectations as we are, of course, awaiting the final installment of the Zondo Commission's report?
That the report will confirm that there was indeed state capture, there was massive looting of our resources, and there's been poor protection for whistleblowers, and there must be change in all aspects. That's what we are hoping will come out of this report 4 years later and R1 billion later.
Let's see then if it will live up to your expectations and many others this evening. Thank you so much for your time. That was Advocate Tseliso Thipanyane from the South African Institute for Responsive and Accountable Governance. He is also part of Whistleblowers for Change.